It's a beautiful night in the Pacific Northwest. Welcome to the home of the Huskies, Heck Edmondson Pavilion on campus at the University of Washington, where tonight inside Bank of America Arena, two of the nation's best go right here on Fox Sports Net. The defending champion UCLA Bruins and the host Huskies of UW. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Watson alongside Judy Corwin. UCLA, the most dynamic program in the country. 5 Olympians from 2 different countries. They are #1 in the nation, the defending national champions. And Valerie Condosfield, their head coach, has them peaking at exactly the right time.
Absolutely. They tied the NCAA all-time team scoring record in their performance last week. 4 10-0 performances, 2 from Jeanette Antolin.
UCLA is loaded, but UW is having a pretty good season as well. The Dogs are number 15 right now, and they're led by 2 great all-around athletes, Kelly McDonald and Emily Pritchard.
Well, Emily is just a remarkable athlete. She has a lot of guts, and she's probably having the best year of her career. #1 on bars in the country. She has a move named after her, and #4 in the all-around in the country.
UCLA as a team, we said, is loaded up and down. The Bruins are #1 in the country on the beam and the bars, and they're #2 on the floor and the vault. And if you pick any name off their roster, you're going to find an international celebrity. Let's pick 2. How about Kate Richardson and Jeanette Antolin?
Well, Kate and Jeanette are absolutely world-class. They're a 1-2 punch for the Bruins. Out of 9 meets, they've won 7 all-around titles between the 2 of them. Jeanette, #1 in the country, 4 10-0s on vault. Kate is just primo on the balance beam.
Good news, bad news for UCLA. Olympian Jamie Dancher is out with a sinus infection, but they welcome back Kristen Maloney, who spent 2 years on the injured list. She is back and competing pain-free. UW has only beaten UCLA once in their history, and they know it'll take another perfect night to do it. Number 15 UW, #1 UCLA, coming up next on Fox Sports Net. And welcome back to Bank of America Arena on campus at UW, home of the Husky basketball and volleyball teams. But tonight it's gymnastics. Bob Levesque's 15th ranked Gym Dogs against the #1 team in the nation, UCLA. Jim Watson, Judy Corwin, and Carly Dockendorf will get us started tonight for UW.
Well, Carly's very athletic. She's a pole vaulter, great runner, very athletic gymnast.
And a big crowd favorite here.
We see her on the vault. She does a front vault. It's one of the few front moving vaults done in the meet. It's only valued at a 9.9. She had a big step on landing.
So she ends up with a 9.775. You don't see Valerie Condos looking concerned often, but the UCLA head coach has reason to be perplexed. Her Bruins have had an awful start to this meet.
Well, here Lori Wynn hits her ankle on a release move. And then Holly Murdoch comes along and completely misses her forward somersault. Now Kristen Maloney gets her grip stuck on her clear hip circle. She can't continue the routine, and the Bruins start with 3 falls.
And Judy, the really surprising part is that UCLA is ranked #1 in the nation on the bars. So here's Yvonne Tusek, and maybe she can get them going. She's a 2-time Olympian from Canada.
Well, the pressure is on for Yvonne to hit this routine. She's a beautiful bar worker. She's got a long body and has a gorgeous swing. Here we see her first release move. And then she moves to the low bar. Nicely done. Hack salto. It's very lovely the way she performs it on bars. Set up for her dismount, giant circles, perfectly straight body, double layout, nails the landing. Boy, did UCLA need that performance.
I guess it's safe to say that's their best effort so far on the bars, isn't it?
It sure was. Nice pack salto right between the bars, perfect body position, toes are pointed, moves into the dismount, nails it.
Yvonne Tusek having a great year and a good start to this meet, a 9.925. Move back to the vault, Tasha Labatt next up for Washington. Tasha, one of the big surprises for the Huskies last week in Arizona, a career best in the all-around with a 39.375.
Tasha does a Yurchenko full twist. She has a nice turn in the air, takes a step on the landing, but this is not her strongest event, and she is excited when she can nail her vault.
9.825 for Tasha Labatt. Back to the bars, and Kate Richardson, the other Canadian Olympian, 2000. And she says she's going to plan another run for Canada, get to Athens in August.
Well, Kate Richardson is the athlete that UCLA needs on this event at this time. She's the co-champion on uneven bars for the NCAA. Nice release move. Did you see how high she was in the air? Perfect handstand position on that transition. solid routine so far. Giant circles, set-ups her dismount. Another double layout. Oh, she took a hop on the landing. Cost her a minor deduction. Again, finally, UCLA is starting to put these bar routines together, and she's got a 9.95 on this event.
Yeah, that's a pretty generous number there, 9.95. Here's one of the featured athletes tonight. UW's Emily Pritchard, coming off another great weekend in Tucson.
This is not Emily's strongest event, but she has a tough vault, a Yurchenko with a full twist. She takes a big step on landing, but her body position in the air is just perfect. Look, toes pointed, legs together, and there's that step.
She's so consistent, a 39.725 in the all-around last week against Arizona's second-best mark in school history. You see her number there on the vault. Jeanette Antolin, Western Region Gymnast of the Year from 2003, and All-American on both the vault and the bars.
Well, Jeanette is really aggressive on uneven bars. This routine is just packed with difficulty. Nice handstand position. And here she goes into eagle giant grips into an immediate release move. So nicely done. Wow, so far, perfect handstand. Good flow in this routine. She's hitting well. Sets up for her dismount. A double layout.
Oh.
Nice landing. She had a little leg separation, but the judges aren't going to deduct much for this routine. Watch these eagle giants. Oh, that makes my shoulders hurt just to watch her do them. Nice release move. Perfectly, legs are together.
A 9.95 for Antolin. She's got to be stoked with that one. That is going to end our first rotation. A strange start for the Bruins, but maybe an opportunity for the Huskies. And welcome back to Seattle. Jim Watson, Judy Corwin on Fox Sports Net. Surprising start for the top-ranked Bruins. 3 falls on the bars. They post their lowest score of the year. UW an early lead. Here's Molly Seaman on the bars. 4 event titles this year for Molly.
This is a good event for Molly. She's a strong athlete. See her giant circles. There's her release move. Nicely done. She does a pack salto. Now, she had a leg separation in that move, which will cost her a minor deduction. Her execution isn't quite as strong as we saw from UCLA, but she's got good difficulty. There's a double front, great dismount. Boy, that's a tough dismount to finish with. Here's her dismount. Sets up with an eagle grip, 2 somersaults before landing. Great finish with a 9.95 score for Molly Seaman.
Molly Seaman, who missed parts of the last 2 years with knee injuries. And talking about injuries, how about Kristen Maloney? An amazing athlete. She suffered a serious leg injury back in 2001, missed 2 full seasons, and is finally back in all 4 events.
And it is so great to see her competing. Wonderful vaulter. She just floated that vault in the air. Yurchenko with a full twist. Barely a step on the landing, scores a 9.95.
A lot of people thought she'd never get back to this level. They were wrong. Carly Dockendorf for the second time tonight, earlier on the vault, a 9.775. She is the catalyst for UW.
Well, and Carly has scored a 10.0 on this event. She's a great uneven bar worker, has beautiful lines, nice long body. Look at her eagle giants. Adjusts her grip on top of the bar. There's her transition. A little low. You'd like her to be a little higher on the bar, on the low bar. Setting up for her dismount. Very strong performance. Double layout, and she nails it. Strong bar performance for Carly. Scores a 9.95.
Move back to the vault. We mentioned Kate Richardson was an Olympian in 2000. In fact, she was Canada's top finisher in Sydney. She placed 15th.
Kate is a beautiful vaulter. She's going to do Yurchenko with a full twist. Perfect landing. I'm glad I'm not judging this event right now. Look at her beautiful body position in the air. Perfect toes pointed. Barely a hop on the finish. Scores a 9.95. The judges liked it too.
A lot of big scores early here. Another 9.95. Kelly McDonald did not have a good vault. She fell on the landing. She's got a foot injury, and that might have been part of the problem.
Kelly was the Pac-10 Gymnast of the Week last week for a record-setting all-around performance. Now that heel injury has held her back at this meet, but it shouldn't hurt her bar performance. There was a nice release move. It's called a Jaeger. She's got perfect handstand position. And a long routine. There's her move to the low bar. Little low on the transition, but not bad. Swinging well, setting up for her dismount. It's a double front and she half twists it out, adding difficulty to the routine. Tough dismount. Scores a 9.9, keeps the Huskies moving forward.
Jeanette Antolin absolutely owns the vault this year. She's won every time. She's been up 7 straight meets, undefeated, and 4 perfect 10s.
Jeanette is so athletic and so aggressive on this event. Perfect body position. Now look at that landing. She knows how to land this vault, and she will not move. Even if she's slightly off, look at her body position in the air. Perfect. Nails it.
Great athlete, tremendous body control. 4 perfect 10s this year. Reigning Pac-10 champion. Is it good enough? And it is. There's another perfect 10 for Antolin. So now UW has to answer back, and here's Emily Pritchard, and she's ranked #1 in the nation on this event.
Well, she's the queen of uneven bars. Beautiful pack salto move. She turns it, and it's called the Pritchard. Nice handstand position in the air. There's a second release move, and look how she keeps flowing throughout her routine. Never stops, never steps on the high bar. Great dismount, full twisting, double back. Again, adding difficulty to that routine.
Another big score for Pritchard probably on the way.
Watch her pack salto. See, she turns a pack salto with a half twist. And here comes the dismount. Double back with a full twist before landing, perfect, and she is excited.
She had a 9.875 on the vault. See what she gets here. Look at this. A 9.975. Not quite perfect, but as close as you can get. And we got a dogfight on the shores of Lake Washington. Welcome back to Seattle Pac-10 Gymnastics. We check our score after 2 rotations, and Washington has actually extended their lead. The Bruins struggled on the bars, but rallied on the vault. In fact, UCLA swept the vault. Maloney and Richardson both had 9.95s. Jeanette Antolin, another perfect 10. That's 5 this year. Washington has built their lead with consistency. A school record on the bars tonight. Emily Pritchard, your winner, a 9.975. Carly Dockendorf was part of a 3-way tie for second on the bars, and she's a busy young lady this time of year. Besides her studies and gymnastic commitments, she's also part of the UW track team. Carly Dockendorf has been competing in gymnastics since Reagan was in office, and that's quite a feat for somebody who just turned 21.
My parents put me in gymnastics when I was 3.
That's when she started, was 3, and she was a kid who was moving from the time she was born.
I had a lot of energy, so my parents wanted to put me in some kind of sport that I'd be able to use it.
In fact, Carly is such a veteran of the sport that she currently owns the UW record with 4 perfect 10s. But her success is not limited just to the gym. You see, Carly also has the second best pole vault in school history with a mark of 12 feet, 10 1/2 inches. So what is the inspiration behind Carly's success?
Actually, probably my boyfriend. He's a perfectionist. Nothing better than his best is acceptable, and he's really brought that into my life.
Carly's boyfriend, Brad Walker, may be a world-class pole vaulter himself, but he admits he would never try gymnastics.
No, I'd kick his butt for sure.
Well, now we know which one of these sports Brad prefers, but which one is Carly's favorite?
Both are awesome sports, completely diverse, and but gymnastics is probably still my passion right now.
Well, Carly's always had multiple interests. She wanted to look for a sport that she could pursue when gymnastics was over. She's always been a competitor, and she needs the challenge. So as long as she's loving what she's doing, she'll be successful. You can't argue with her success. You just hope Carly finds some time to enjoy it all.
3 weeks ago, Carly became one of the few Husky athletes to ever compete in 2 sports during the same weekend on the road. On a Friday night at Boise State, she won the all-around for the gymnastics team. Then Saturday morning, came back, competed in the pole vault, cleared 12.5 good enough for 4th. We'll see more of Carly just a couple of minutes, but both you and her dad will have to wait because first, we go to her teammate, Amy Metcalf.
Amy is a senior and she's a veteran on this team. Her mount, a tough front somersault, and she sticks it. Certainly not the place where the gymnast wants to be falling to start the routine. Flip-flop layout, good so far. Amy's had a wrist injury. She had surgery during the off-season, and it's held her to compete in only one event this year, the balance beam. Saw her leap series. Important that she sticks this event. Balance beam only 4 inches wide, 4 feet off the ground. It is the pressure event. So good so far. All she needs is to dismount. Here it comes. Full twisting layout. Solid routine for the Huskies. Again, keeping on the beam, staying ahead of the Bruins.
A 9.9 last week at Arizona, a 9.825 here, a little bit low. UCLA still trails in the meets, but they've got their murderer's row coming up. Kristen Maloney will be next up for the Bruins on the floor, and she's one of 4 Olympians on the roster, along with Jamie Dancher, who's out with a sinus infection, not competing here. Both she and Maloney on the U.S. national team, by the way. Kate Richardson, Yvonne Tusek on the Canadian national squad. Tusek, a 2-time Olympian.
Kristen's a wonderful floor performer. You know, Coach Val says she's one of the toughest athletes that she's ever coached. Watch this floor routine. Opening tumbling line, a double layout. Perfectly done. She has 20 tenths of bonus in this floor routine. Now, she doesn't need all of those tenths of bonus. She only needs 5 or 6, but she uses them all. Nice double back, pike position. Beautiful jump turns. Kristen is so tough, which is just evidence of her ability to come back after the layoff. And Coach Val says she's hungry to compete again. Continues with a strong performance. Little rest before that last tumbling line. Nice 2.5 twist, perfect landing. She was so high in the air on that landing.
Kristen Maloney, definitely a source of inspiration for her teammates and for her coaches.
Here's her tumbling line. 2.5 times around before she lands. Very tall.
Maloney, a 9.9 on the floor. Valerie Condos choreographs all these exercises. That's Chris Waller back there in the blue shirt, the assistant coach. He's an Olympian himself. He was in Barcelona. He was an all-around finalist. Let's go back to Carly Dockendorf on the beam.
Carly does a press-up handstand as a mount. A good show of her strength on this event, and she is so strong. Tumbles well, good body position, nice tumbling line. She has a little bit of difficulty sticking it. Don't always see a back somersault on the balance beam. Carly has some unique moves. And there's a punch somersault. So she's done it backwards, forwards, perfectly landed the second time around. So hard on the balance beam to maintain control and precision. The gymnasts have to be totally focused. She looks intense. Her dismount, a layout with a full twist. She had a slight step on the landing, but a solid performance.
And Carly Doggendorf's having a pretty good night. She had a 9.8 on the vault, a 9.95 on bars, and here she follows up with a 9.875 on the beam. Back to the floor, Yvonne Tusek again. She was the second best Bruin on the bars earlier tonight with a 9.925.
Well, when you talk Bruin floor exercise, you have to talk choreography. Great opening tumbly line for Yvonne. Full twisting salto into immediate punch front salto. But watch her artistry in this event. Valerie Kondos is a wonderful choreographer, and so much has been said about it. Every one of her gymnasts has a theme in their routine, and she plays to that theme. She picks moves that accentuate their strengths and really help them sell their routines. Yvonne has lovely arm and dance moves. Finishes with a full twisting layout. Great routine, love to watch it.
Yvonne Tusek, a strong effort for the Bruins. Her score, a 9.9. So why doesn't she look thrilled?
It's all right. Good job. It's all right. And that was
Welcome back. Pac-10 Gymnastics on Fox Sports Net. Number 1 UCLA, number 15 Washington. We continue with UCLA on the floor, UW on the beam, and a tight meet is a great time to have your senior leader up.
Emily Pritchard is so strong on the balance beam. She's ranked in the top of the country on bars and vault and in the all-around. She should be ranked on beam too. Beautiful straddle jumps, one right after the other. She moves so well. No pauses, stops in between moves. Little tough on that tumbling, but she saves it. Perfect handstand position around the bar. Not a tough move on balance beam, but she makes it look easy. As a senior, Emily's been through so many injuries of her own. She's a tough competitor. She keeps coming back for more. Setting up for her dismount. Double back on the balance beam, perfectly stuck. She is excited. She has had one champion style meet tonight. Watch this dismount. 2 revolutions before she lands. Great exercise.
Yeah, the home folks like it, and so do the judges. A 9.95. She had a 9.875 on the vault and won the bars with another 9.975. So she is rolling. Back to the floor, and Kate Richardson, who has 2 all-around titles this year for UCLA.
Well, talk about creativity. This routine is jam-packed with unique moves. Kate Richardson is the type of gymnast that has fun when she's performing. Opening double layout. just looks like she's having a good time out there. Double layouts forward. Coach Valerie loved to do the choreography in this routine, and I can understand why. A favorite part. She just looks like she's on stage having a good time. Oh, but now she has to do a tumbling run, and a tough one to boot. 2 whips through to another double back in the pike position. She had a slight bobble on the landing, but I love the routine.
Kate Richardson for UCLA. And even in Seattle, she gets a nice round of applause. That was just fun to watch. And a 9-9 for Kate Richardson. So UCLA trying to creep back into this thing. Remember, the Bruins #1. Al, at the beginning of the year, Bob Levesque challenged Molly Seaman with a call for consistency, and she has answered, especially here on the beam. She's ranked 5th in the country on the beam coming in.
Molly, a senior, she's a leader on this event. Of course, Washington in a tight meet, so her performance is so important. There's a planche move, shows her strength, very difficult mount. Molly is from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. She came a long way to Seattle, Washington to compete for the Huskies. Perfect jump series. No pauses in between. There's tumbling line, perfect punch front. Molly's also president of the Washington Student Athletic Academic Council. That's a mouthful.
You know, you can tell it's a big meet. Look at Bob Levesque, her coach at the top. He can't even bear to watch. That's how tight this thing is right now. You think it's important to him?
Every 10th counts. Nice dismount. She tumbled right into it with a layout full twist. Perfect landing.
Oh, the crowd wants a 10. Was it that good?
Oh, I don't know, but the Huskies are on top. Here's her planche move. Show of strength. She has to hold it for 2 seconds.
Oh, and how about that? Almost perfect. A 9.975, best of the year for Seaman. And, you know, just when Washington seems to get control of this, again, you look up, and here comes Jeanette Antolin. She's having a big night already. Expected. She won the vault, 8 for 8 this year, and a perfect 10 on the vault. Here she is on the floor.
Here's another routine that is just so much fun to watch. And what I really like about this routine is its perfect style for Jeanette. She just bubbles.
Now you're looking at the top-ranked gymnast all around in the country.
And she'll be taking this routine for tryouts for the 2004 Olympics. Twisting layout into a punch front. She's having a good time, rocking along.
Oh!
So intricate, all the moves put together. Coach Condos has outdone herself on this routine. Last tumbling line, it's a big one. Double back pike. Great finish for Jeanette.
Now that's just part of the reason she is the top-ranked collegiate gymnast in America, and a big number here, a 9.95. UW still thinking upset, but UCLA is #1 on the beam. That's coming up. The Huskies poised to make headlines. Can they hold on and beat the Bruins? UCLA #1 in the nation, but so far UW is the best tonight. Can the Gym Dogs beat the Big Dogs? Jim Watson, Judy Corwin in Seattle on Fox Sports Net. And here is Molly Seaman on the floor for UW, and she's coming off a career high on the beam.
Molly opens with a nice front tumbling series. She's an expert at front tumbling. You know, she anchored the beam with a 9.975, but she loves to perform on floor. It's her favorite performance event. Senior, she's a great leader on this Husky team. And that's so important right now as the Huskies are looking for an upset.
And Judy, one of the reasons that Bob Levesque put her in the leadoff spot is to add a little consistency to this event, which has lacked consistency for UW as a team.
True, and Molly, as a senior, a veteran performer, she knows how to go out there, she knows what she has to do, and stick. So far, she's had a solid routine. A whip series with twisting moves in between, finishes with a strong layout. Good, solid performance for the Huskies, and they need that for their opening score. A 9.875 for Molly Seaman.
Molly Seaman has been clutch for UW, but Yvonne Tusek has been critical for UCLA tonight. After the Bruins had miscues on their first 3 bars to open the night, she turned things around with a 9.925, and she just turned in a 9.9 on the floor, now moves to the beam.
Yvonne is beautiful flexibility on the balance beam. We just saw her demonstrate that with her press handstand mount, and we saw her show the splits in the air right into her tumbling moves. So elegant on this event. Nice jump leap series, which she combines with some tumbling skills. Very unique. Don't always see these types of moves on the balance beam. What I love about Yvonne is she's perfect to the toe point. Little bobble there. Another leap acrobatic series. Perfect down onto the beam. She's moving very well. It's why the Bruins are #1 on this event. Her dismount, round off, double twisting layout. She hung on to that landing. Here's one of those acrobatic series, very unique. Hip circle on the balance beam, and that show of flexibility.
Another 9.9, 2-second 9.9 or above on every event tonight. Here's Tasha Labatt on the floor. She had a 9.825 on the vault. This is her only other event tonight. And the pressure's on.
Well, this is Tasha's strong event. She has wonderful projection to the audience and great eye contact. And she's a pretty good tumbler, too. Double back in the pike position. It was perfect. Not a step on landing. You know, we talked about Coach Val and her wonderful choreography, but the Huskies have great choreography, too. Very artistic in their movement. Front tumbling series, nicely done. Tasha having a great time out there. crowd really gets into what she's doing. A strong finish, 2 front tumbling skills, and out.
A big smile on her face. She liked it.
Great routine, 9.85 for Tasha Labatt. And the Huskies are still strong and ahead.
We talked about Kristen Maloney's odyssey the past 2 years. She suffered the serious leg injury, had surgery, and at one point needed a rod inserted in her leg. That's been removed, but the impact and support of her teammates has left a lasting impression.
I couldn't walk for a long time, and I had essentially an IV in my arm for a month or so, and I couldn't do a lot of stuff. So a lot of them helped me out with laundry, cooking, helping me wash my hair. And
it's an amazing story, and that's the thing people fail to recognize about gymnastics is that whole team effort.
Well, Kristen is just dynamite on this event, and it is packed with difficulty. Tumbling line, back handspring, back layout. Her teammates are pulling for her. They want to see her stick.
Maloney's in the UCLA record book. She was the first athlete to ever record a 10 on the beam.
She has some real unique moves in this routine too. Like this one.
Oh.
Wow. Does that take guts or what?
That'll get your heart going.
Good show of balance, a little flair. She's on a roll. Dismount is a gainer with a full twist. Wonderful routine. Her teammates are excited for her, and they are sure glad to have her in the competition again. Here's that unique move, a wolf jump into an immediate backflip with a full twist down onto the beam. Oh, I would hate to miss that. She scores a 9.975, near perfect.
This meet will be decided by our final 3 gymnasts. UCLA has closed the gap, but they still trail, and their #1 ranking is in jeopardy. Washington came in with high expectations, but that didn't necessarily mean they were thinking upset.
In our sport, it's really different where what matters most is your score. I would rather lose with a 197 than win with a 196, and so what we're looking at is what we do.
Yeah, it looks like Bob is thinking about the win right now, not about the points. UW has only beaten UCLA once in school history. It's going to come down to the final 3. First up, Emily Pritchard on the floor.
Well, Emily has had a great performance up until this point tonight, and she needs to stick her floor. Front somersault through to a double back tuck. Perfect landing. Nice double back pike. She was so high in the air. This young gymnast has come out to compete with the best tonight. She's got a best 9.925 for her career in floor exercise. Final tumbling. Great twisting layout. Wow, great routine for Emily Pritchard.
Emily Pritchard, another part of a big night. She had a 9.87 on the vault, She won the bars with a 9.975, a 9.95 on the beam, and now a 9.925 on the floor. So she's right there for the all-around title with UCLA's Jeanette Antolin. But here is UCLA's Kate Richardson on the beam, and she's upgraded her beam routine.
Kate is ranked #1 in the country on balance beam. And she needs to score big.
How would you like to be in this position right now?
Ooh.
#1 ranking, they're behind, and she's the last competitor for the Bruins. Look at her teammates.
Wow, look at this show of flexibility. But Kate's been there before. She's been in the Olympics. She knows the pressure. Beautiful tumbling, beautiful grace. Look at that toe point. She moves so easily on the balance beam. It's like she's on the floor. You'd never know she was in the air on 4 inches of a plank. Nice dismount, perfect landing. This is going to be a good score. It's going to be tight.
And a little trepidation among the Husky fans. They wanted it to be good, but not great. And it was great.
Watch this plunge move. Beautiful execution. Look at that toe point. Perfect balance.
And Kate is clutch. Look at the number, a 9.95. So that puts all the pressure back on the other side of the building. And look at this, it all comes down to our final performer of the meet. You can't write it any better than this, the house favorite, Carly Dockendorf, and she needs anything above a 9.8 to win the meet for UW and upset the top-ranked team in the country. Here we go.
Well, and her opening tumbling line is a tough one. One slight mistake, and she might not make it.
Big air.
Oh. Little low on the landing, but boy, did she pull it out. What a save. Second tumbling line, perfect. And this is another routine with great choreography. It just captures the crowd. Good turning leaps. She's in a zone.
Just needs a good, clean performance. Anything above a 9.8.
Last tumbling line needs to be strong.
Here's your whole night right here.
Front layout with a twist, immediate landing, great finish. She's going to be happy tonight.
Big grin on her face. The crowd applauds the effort. Now it comes down to the judges. Crowd wants a 10. They don't need a 10.
They want a 10, but that opening tumbling line was a little bit low. It's not going to be perfect. She saves it.
And there's the number. It's a 9.925, and that means UW has beaten UCLA. The coaches are relaying that information to their teams right now.
They won. They won this meet, and they deserve to win this meet. Okay?
Gallery Condos Field, classy as always. A great night of gymnastics in Seattle. UCLA's Jeanette Antolin, once again, perfect on the vault. Her 5th perfect 10 this year. Antolin also won the floor, and the nation's top-ranked gymnast was also the best in the building tonight, winning the all-around. UW's Emily Pritchard was 2nd in the all-around, including a victory on the bars, where she is also ranked #1 in the country. But it wasn't just the big guns for Washington, but the depth of the dogs. Molly Seaman had a career high to win the beam, with the pressure on, an almost perfect 9.975. And the dogs got lucky, too, something you didn't see earlier. Chelsea Bakken saving her performance and maybe the entire meet with a one-footed takeoff on her beam dismount. Bakken was also big in the leadoff spot on the floor with a 9.85. It all adds up to a Husky victory, maybe the biggest in the history of the program.
Well, congratulations. What a great victory for the team. Only the 2nd time you've beaten UCLA in the history of the program. What does this mean tonight?
Well, what's really funny is the last time we beat UCLA, was February 27th of 1998, and it's February 27th of 2004. So I hope we see UCLA February 27th all the time. Well, for the program, it's really great. It's a good boost for our girls because we're very thin on depth. In fact, Val came up to me after the competition and said, you know, Bob said, that was my A team. And I said, well, that was my A team too, even though we don't have as many guns as you do.
Congratulations to Bob Levesque and his Gym Dogs. For your producer, Tim Lay and Judy Carwin, I'm Jim Watson. Washington beats the Bruins. So long from Seattle.